Outer space, unimaginably distant. These are the type-ins of Watho Snorkers. His mission: to type in strange old games, to seek out new graphics and fun subroutines. To boldly code like no one has coded since 1982. Today we go to a new system, new for us but very old for everyone else. It is the Tandy Radio Shack 80, TRS-80, also known as the Trash 80. Because today's game is from Stimulating Simulations by C W Engel, but it's not one that I could easily convert to normal ZX Spectrum Basic. So I've typed it in on the TRS-80. It's now loading from cassette. When it's loading from cassette, you get a lovely little asterisk appearing in the top right. I say it's difficult to convert because it uses a form of BASIC that I didn't recognise. There are print at statements, which were fairly normal, but only had one number, which was interesting. I had to find out exactly which computer it was, and then try to recreate the screen based on the picture in the book, which was this. That is a sample screen display. So I had to work out what the computer it was. It was the TRS-80, and then type it in. Then found out it was the wrong TRS-80 because it has to be a very specific version, one that uses level 2 basic, and not too late because otherwise the characters change. So now list the code. There's only 2 pages in the book, but came with a good 3 pages of instructions and 6 pages of flowcharts. C William Engel did games properly. See here, print at 792, heat problems, etc. Let's run the game, and here we have our screen. We are the pixel of square to the bottom left. Our aim is to land on the planet, which is the hash mark on the top right. But in between, though, we have to kill the evil alien, which is the flashing square there. The TRS-80 has a screen which is 64 characters wide, or 127 plottable areas. We're now turned on our thrusters, 2 thrusters going right and up. This is why you have to have the specific version, because in later versions of the TRS-80, these are different characters. These are the cursor keys, which are just displayed like arrows. There are no custom graphics in this game, apart from just plotting on a pixel. We are drifting through space. On the right-hand side, we have various bits of information. We have our distance to the black hole, which is obviously terrifying. You want to avoid the black hole, stay away from it more than 10. Temperature of the engines, radiation as well, because one of these stars, which represent other planets, is horribly radioactive. What I've done there is just flashed up the coordinates. So you have to land on one of these planets to want to recharge. Our ship has energy and morale. Our crew has morale. We have a limited amount of time. So the goal is kill the alien, who's using some sort of cloaking device. We've had a space storm here,
not a meteorologist,
a random event which completely kills your motion. So now you need to turn on my thrusters because I'm trying to land on the star, the bottom left star, which is the planet. Go nice and simple. We're currently 18 space units away from the black hole. We don't know where it is, but you can sort of vaguely work out it's somewhere. I'm going to stay away from it. Remember, the goal is kill the alien, land on the planet marked with a hash. You have shields, which protect you from radiation. The alien can zap you with lasers. Your thrusters have varying amounts of power. You carry on travelling with inertia. You can also activate gyroscopes to give you more control. If you have too much speed, you will you'll crash into the atmosphere and get too much, lots and lots of heat. So there's a lot going on in quite a simple 2-page game. Here I have heat problems, a random event, which is now bumped up our heat to just 17. We've got plenty of time. Time goes down in units of 0.1, but each turn our morale drops by 1 point. We're losing morale faster because of radiation. Same with fuel. It's bombarding the ship. This is a bad thing. Now I've activated the gyros. This means that when we put the thrusters on, our speed will only change by 0.1 of a unit, rather than 3 to 7, which it is normally. It's a bit random because you've got powerful engines. So we're going down slightly. We're trying to get to a planet, which is there, slightly further down. We only have this galactic view. One of the things he suggests as an improvement is having some sort of zoom in capability, because he always gives 10 options of making things better, one of which is magnification when you are close to a planet. Also adding to having gravitational effects, more hazards, more aliens, etc. Without overheating. Overheating basically increases our fuel consumption because we have to pump out the heat into space.
The engines, Captain! They cannot take it!
So once we get close enough to the planet, we'll land on it, providing we're going slow enough. So now I'm going to slow down a bit more. We're 13 away from the black hole, which is fine. Light radiation. Radiation is based on the reciprocal of the distance times 5,000. So if you try and land on a radioactive planet, you will die very, very quickly. We've landed safely though, soft landing, which tops up our energy and morale back to maximum, which is nice. You have shields, which protects you from radiation and the alien spaceship. However, while your shields are active, you cannot fire your lasers or do a radar search. Also, using the shield costs energy. And the shield does not protect you from the black hole. If you go off the screen, you don't instantly lose the game, but you enter what's called anti-space and take lots of damage until you get back into real space. So now I'm looking for the alien spaceship. I need to kill that. So where is it? He's up there now.
We come in peace.
So there's a line of planets in a row. If I get them nice in a row, I can get up there and then go to the right and land, hopefully. But first of all, I need to go and kill this alien. And a space storm has killed my motion. There are some conflicts in the book between the code as written and the description. It says space storm damages your energy and morale. Actually, it kills your motion, but also increases morale for no apparent reason. So I changed that so it doesn't affect morale at all. Otherwise, here are the coordinates flashing up. Otherwise, the alien zapped you. The alien is close enough to zap you. The instructions say alien has to be within 10 units of you. However, the game says the alien has to be within 20 units of you, but your lasers has a range of 10. We're now too close to the black hole. If you now watch the energy and morale, they will start plummeting. Because we're going to have up to 10 damage each turn by being too close to the black hole. And also we're too hot. And there's radiation. And an alien. So it's a bit of a Kobayashi Maru situation here. We're close to a planet though, so hopefully we might have to land on a planet.
You cannot change the laws of physics!
The black hole is very close. But we're not landed on a planet though, because we are too fast. We are much too fast landed on a planet. Our speed has to be 0.2 or less, and we're zooming by. So now looking at our planets. Remember, it's 64 wide, and there's about 16 or 20 characters high. So it's a much wider screen than the Spectrum, but not as deep. We're still too hot, but we have to land safely, but we are very close to the black hole, and the temperature is way too high.
Shoot to kill.
But we're getting close to the alien now, which is nice. That alien bastard. Now, so far at the alien, we've missed though. Using your lasers costs energy. Fortunately, we're still landing on a planet, so it's not too bad. So that tops up our energy, as long as we like, which is quite convenient. So we're trying to move up closer to the alien, who seems to be very close to the black hole, possibly circling the black hole, just trying to hope that we won't get him. The alien swine. Fire lasers, missed. So each turn you only get to issue one command, which I'll turn on one of the 4 thrusters, deactivate the thrusters, activate shields, activate gyros, deactivate shields and gyros, radar search, fire lasers, or show coordinates. Alien is there. Once the alien is within 10, we should be able to zap him. We're drifting up towards him at a rate of knots. But also, we got zapped by the alien, those bastards. We're on top of the black hole now. Fortunately, we're fast enough to hopefully get past it. There we are. We've got past the black hole now. It's between those 2 planets and a bit to the left. Yes! Gotcha, suckers! We're now very close to the black hole and going fast towards the top left of the map. Let's reverse thrusters. The ship has inertia, so we're going to keep travelling to the left while we're thrusting to the right. Note the arrow keys. There are no custom graphics in this game. These are just standard out-of-the-box characters we get the print from the character set. So energy is now down to a quarter. Once energy, morale or time hit 0, we are out of the game. So we killed the alien though. So if we can get out and land on a planet, there's a planet there not too far away. Unfortunately, the black hole and the overheating and the radiation, I think, are going to crush us.
I'm on break.
And we've run out of energy, which is the end of Starship Alpha. Space. We now have 48K. These are the new adventures of Starship Alpha. Three, two, one, and action. We now move to the ZX Spectrum conversion. What I did, I wanted to make the game a bit jazzier, a bit more fancy, and obviously to convert to the ZX Spectrum. And as usual, we have a loading program. This one, however, if you're a long-time viewer, takes a lot longer to load because it doesn't just load the loading screen and the font like we normally do. It also defines all the user-defined graphics and adds extra machine code and arranges all the loading of the loading screen, which you'll see in a moment, and the font, and 2 bits of machine code, and 11 pictures. Oh, and another bit of machine code as well. Also, the coordinates of the planets, which I put directly into memory in order to save space, because we are right up against the wall in terms of memory. 48K. You run out of space quite quickly when you start putting pictures in, and I haven't got 11 different screens. I've got 11 thirds of a screen because I'm using the middle third. As I said earlier, the TRS-80 is 64 characters wide. The Spectrum is 32 characters wide. However, we can plot up to 256 pixels wide. So I've shrunk things down, so rather than a big square, the spaceship is going to be a single pixel and little crosses for the planets. However, the Spectrum is 24 characters high rather than 16. So we've got 8 characters in the middle which aren't being used. So I'm using these for little pictures to make it a bit more lively. We had to squish down the console because we can't manage 64 characters wide, so to move things down a bit, which just about works. The loading screen is a bit of standard Spectrum art. I've used Hewson and Hardman's fill-in routine on the planet and the spaceship, nice and simple. We also put the text information on the bottom 2 lines, which you can do on a loading screen, but you have to copy the screen to memory first and then save from there. You can't just save direct from the screen because otherwise you lose the front 2 lines. And it takes about a good 5 minutes to load, and then we start loading off with the instructions. Because the instructions are quite complex, I've put them all into a little routine. You can skip the instructions though by pressing enter once they finish loading. We now finished loading. I thought I'd alert you to the fact you might be waiting for a while. With a flashing border and lots of beeps, press enter to start, and we get this. I decided to print the instructions 1 character at a time using a little bleep effect. This then had a problem when I wanted to use inverse video, and you can do that, but if you print 1 character at a time, it doesn't do anything. So I had to put a code in the subroutine where if the character is not printable, we then print the next 3 characters. So you see omega there, that's actually inverse video O, inverse video M, etc., etc. The same as you for any other effects we have. I also wanted to make the planet a bit more attractive than just a hash mark. It's planet Omega, so why not use an Omega symbol? Unfortunately, I've used every single UDG. So I could change UDG banks, but I thought, no, let's not bother doing that. Add a little bit of the subroutine. So if you hit the plus symbol, which I don't use otherwise, I will actually draw, using plot, a little tiny Omega symbol in green. So this explains we've got to use shields, gyros, laser beams, avoid the black hole, avoid the planet with radiation, do everything fast, etc. Here's the objective. We have to eliminate the evil alien with a laser beam and then land on the planet shown as an Omega symbol. We should accomplish this in as little time as possible. Time has never been a particular problem in this game. However, the instructions take about 10 minutes because there's a lot of them. You can skip by pressing a key, and then we get a little mini loading screen, which is one of my mini pictures. A central third of the screen, which we have with Starship Alpha. Again, the spaceship is filled in with Hewson and Hardman's fill-in routine. And then the main game loads. The instructions are about 10k, and so is the main game. We also have extra pictures and a font and so on.
Tea, Earl Grey, hot.
So we're now loaded. So we see here the little crosses, and the single pixel represents the spaceship, and on the right hand side, planet Omega. First thing we need to do is do a radar search to find where the alien is. It's cloaked, and it's pretty much there in the middle of the universe, halfway between those two planets to the left and that planet up to the top right.
Engage.
Fuel is ticking down. We are quite away from the black hole. Light radiation. So let's put the thrusters on, and speed will slowly increase, which is nice. So we can't land on planet Omega to win until we've killed the alien. After every turn, I put a little beep in because it does respond to in keys, but there's a lot going on in between. So it's a sort of hint that things are happening, and if you hold down the button when in keys is happening, it will be taking effect. So now moving at a fair old rate. Temperature is comfortable. In the middle of the screen, that's where we're scoring our mini pictures, of which there are 11. There's one for each of the random events and other things happening as well. So that's the 10 normal planets that are just yellow crosses. Which work. They're obviously smaller than the characters on the TRS-80, but they work reasonably well. You can see what's going on. All the keys and instructions are in the help. It takes about 10 minutes to run through. Essentially, space turns off your thrusters, and then you get to trail through space. So radiation has increased a little bit. I did reduce radiation. Originally, it was if you were 10 units away from the radioactive planet, you'll be taking 50 hits per turn or up to, which is just ridiculous. Also, if your shield was on, you had no idea what the radiation level was. So on several occasions, I landed safely on a planet with my shields on, turned the shields off, because that's what you do, and then instantly died. Here's one of our random events with a heat problem. So I thought, let's have a nice picture of a thermometer. Again, filled in using the fill-in routine of Hewson and Hardman. That'll just stay there. We're trying to dock on the first planet. What radiation is spiking now. So if you're close to the alien or close to the black hole or there's too much radiation, I make the border red in this sort of red alert type effect. So there's lots going on now. We're getting closer and closer to the black hole. Temperature is rising. The barometer is not getting low, it's getting high. I've now pressed Z. This gives us the zoom in effect. So we shall land on this planet. We're going much, much too fast. I've now flying through the atmosphere, burning up. They're going to call me Mr. Fahrenheit because we're now at a temperature of 23. So we're now overheating as well. So that's three things that are going wrong at the same time. And another random heat problem, so that's bumping up the heat even more. So let's go back to the galactic map. So the alien is somewhere to the right before the next planet, but we are very close to the black hole now. Where is the alien?
We have detected alien life form.
He's just over there now, so it's getting close. However, black hole... Oh, there he is. We're within 20 units of the alien. So I'll pop up a mini picture, which is a little UFO with a little green man in it. And we are too close to the black hole. Radiation is high, black hole is close, and so is the alien. There's the black hole warning. What are we going to do? As you can see here, fuel just dropped by 24 in that last turn, even though we have got none of the engines on, because we are just bombarded with everything going on at the same time. We're trying to fire the lasers, and we're out of range of the alien, so that's a miss.
Highly illogical, Captain.
And we've run out of fuel. That is all she wrote. Mission failed. We get a nice little mini picture of the spaceship with holes in it and fire and general horrible death.
We can't afford the fuel, Captain.
That is a lose state. Now look at a slightly better state. I've now landed on a planet. It's a new game. Soft landing. Successful landing. So you get a nice picture of a spaceship landing on a yellow planet. Aliens are close though. Remember, we can't complete the mission until we land on planet Omega. If we're at slow speed and we're close to the planet, we'll land on it repeatedly. So where is Mr. Alien now? He's down there. So you need to go down a bit. Oh, and the alien bastards have zapped me. That's again one of our little mini pictures, the UFO with a nice zap effect. Fortunately, we're still close to the planet, so we get our fuel and morale back. Aliens are close. Remember, they have a range of 20, we have a range of 10. That could have been a bug in Mr. Engel's code, but I left it in because I thought it was quite nice to have the aliens having increased range. Made it a bit more tense. So we're moving over to the right, and we're going too fast in atmosphere. We're also close to the black hole, not... Oh, and they've zapped us again. Not quite in danger, because 10 is the absolute safe limit. But we are zipping through the atmosphere at speed. So that bumps up temperature considerably. We're going to fire the lasers again. And we've got him. That is Efectos FX, which I then found it's not 912 bytes, which has to start at 61,440. Thinking, oh, that'd be okay. Unfortunately, it corrupts the data above it, which was the final picture, which is landing successfully on planet Omega. We've zoomed in now. We're trying to land on Omega. We've had a fuel leak.
I'm a doctor, not a plumber, damn it.
Fuel. Activated the gyros. We're trying to control our limit. So, because the Efectos FX uses like a scratch pad area above it in memory, we couldn't store the last picture there. But I wanted the last picture of successful mission. So what I use instead is the normal soft landing mission, but I then use a bit of machine code to dynamically alter the attributes to match Planet Omega, which is green. Green for safety. So Planet Omega is at X100, Y24. So in order to save memory for this game, we do all the user-defined graphics and setting up the font and machine code in the loader routine. We also move all the instructions into a separate instruction routine as well. And we have 11 separate pictures lurking in the middle. So morale is very high. Originally, in the code as written, killing the alien sets your morale to 100, which is half. I decided instead you get a bonus to morale of plus 100 after killing the alien, which made a bit more sense. So we are 0.7 away from the planet and 2 away in the vertical range. We're closing in. Half our fuel tank left. Morale is high, plenty of time. Gyros are active. So we're just moving in slowly, coming into land. The planet's made up of 8 UDGs and a solid block of characters in the middle. I was going to do some clever stuff with the wings, but then I ran out of time. I ran out of space as well. I was very limited with space at this stage. Very limited indeed. I think one more turn should do it. And there we are. Mission accomplished. So this is the normal soft landing screen, but I've done a print to say mission accomplished and changed the attributes of the bottom 2 rows to green. If you watch, it'll repeatedly display it there, and you might get a little flash of yellow now and again. So that was Starship Alpha.